like very user friendly. It is very easy to install these cameras. All the toolkits, everything comes under with that particular things. We can give warranty up to 5 years on our cameras. No other manufacturer can have the confidence of giving that 5 years warranty on the cameras. We can give up to 5 years. If anything goes bad within even that warranty period also, so our replacement time is around 4 to 5 days, because we are maintaining our RMA center directly by Axis. We have that RMA center in our Bangalore office. Whatever problems occur, first we ask for a server report. Our post-sales team will contact you. Will in 70-80% cases, a phone call only, I think, that resolves the problems. If anything goes bad with the camera or some water has been gone down and everything, then you need to give a replacement, and you need to courier the camera to our Bangalore office, and very next day the same will be couriered back to your address. It normally in 4 5 days it happens that your camera is getting replaced within warranty period and all. Even after warranty, we have another partner who who gives you costing for that, and that can be replaced again within maximum within a week or 10 days. You see, definitely a solution price, if you see the Axis solution, maybe it is 18% higher, but if it's a total cost put together, considering all the parameters, the local low quality solution will be 32% higher for your earnings. Now, just this is a network myth, just to little about, everybody says that we get the same performance on all the cameras, but it is not there. When you see a camera, when you see a data sheet, obviously all cameras will look alike, definitely. But there is a different, just a small feature, multi-streaming, because when you do a multi-streaming, what multi-streaming in industry call is like when you are transmitting or streaming the data at full resolution, full FPS, and the second streaming will go at half the resolution and half the FPS, but that is not a true multi-streaming. Our cameras, Axis cameras, stand for that multi-streaming, true multi-streaming, because we can give up to more than 5 or more than 6 streams at a full resolution and a full FPS. That is a true multi-streaming that we have in our cameras. Open systems, we are the founder members of ONVIF, that's Open Network Video Interface Forum, where all the different OEMs, all the vendors talk to each other on that platform. We are the founder members of that. Our cameras are 100% ONVIF. Our camera features you can integrate almost 100% to the different OEM, different vendors which we integrate with. Bandwidth and storage, I already told you, that gives you a minimum saving of 20%, and it can go up to 50-60% also, depending on the motion in a scene. Quality, reliability, and support, I should say you can experience it, because I can tell a lot about things, but I think once you experience it, you can yourself tell us that it is a quality product that we have. Axis cameras are expensive, yes, little bit expensive. We have already seen the TCO, but if you talk about a solution from Axis, yes, you will get a more reliable and more economical solution from Axis House. And that is end from my side. If any questions are there, I am happy to answer the questions.
Or can we take the questions offline?
Yeah,
if you don't mind?
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So can we have a huge round of applause for Vinci? Even with the little glitches in between, Vinci, thank you very much for that. So, ladies and gentlemen, before I call in my last speaker, my question, which is the only crime, yeah? If you commit this crime, and if you are successful, you cannot be prosecuted. Suicide is the right answer. I got it over there first. So can we have a huge round of applause for that table? Congratulations, and I will give you the results shortly. We are ready to invite our next speaker on stage. Our final speaker, don't forget feedback forms. Feedback forms at the end of this session. We will be collecting post-lunch maybe, or whenever you're leaving, please hand over the feedback forms and collect your mementos from us. Make your smart business smarter. We have with us Mr. Inderpreet Singh, Regional Head North, Zebra Technologies. Please get your hands together for Mr. Inderpreet Singh. Thank you.
So I'll just take a few minutes of yours. I know I'm just standing exactly in between your lunch, but I'll try to be a little fast. So I'm not sure how many people sitting here actually know about Zebra Technologies. But let my slides start. So probably, I'll move along with these slides. So if you see, Zebra Technologies is almost a 40-year-old organization. To be very precise, we acquired Motorola Enterprise Division almost 2 years back. And so when I say Enterprise Division, you've already seen our stock back, talking about no walkie-talkies. We're not talking about anything else. We're talking about exact enterprise which is being used in the industries, which is called mobile computer devices or scanners, anything to do with mobility and the barcodes, right? So it, so my slide actually talks about that, what exactly the products, where exactly the products are actually being used today. Uh, it's got a great visibility across the industry. We are here to simplify the business for you guys, who are there probably in retail, in TNL, in manufacturing, in healthcare. So we are there almost in all the verticals. We specialize into these 4 verticals because why we say so is that we have got very, very specific products which are actually manufactured by us for these verticals, right? So, it's basically empowering the mobile workforce. So if you see today, everybody wants, a data which is real time. So probably to get that, you have to be very, very mobile. I will share with you in my further slides that how exactly it happens. And obviously you would like to know
enterprise solutions like database or your file servers as a single platform which does your centralized access control for all the specific databases, big data or file servers is also not a centralized console is not available right now. And even on the big data kind of environment, you can't track who is doing what because you have a distributed file system and data is being parallelly processed. And the important point, even in the big data access control, how access control is implemented on a big data kind of environment is typically you have a files on which you define access control, and it is kind of a manual in nature. When your environment increases from one cluster to multiple cluster, you have to go on each and every server to write that file manually. So in today's IT world, which is dynamic, users are changing every day, administrators are changing every day, it becomes hassle for any organization to maintain that. What are the specific risks for any specific breach or any specific attack which has happened for any organization? That is data breach, which is, we have seen that the cost of data breaches is huge. Then brand reputation also goes down. Secondly, it also talks about, like specifically, like I have told in my last slide, that new users, onboarding of new users, maintaining their access control is the biggest challenge in a big data kind of environment. And big data is also attractive target for any attacker because if they attack it, it has a loose access control, it is open, and it is because the focus is more on processing the data, getting the data in a faster way, though the security is not the biggest concern over there. So it is loose security. So any attacker typically attacks big data kind of environment where the data is much higher than a one single source. So that is why attackers are making more target attacks on a big data kind of environment. So with IBM specific approach, what we do with the big data or any specific database or file specific unstructured data on file servers, what we can do is we can discover and classify that data. We can protect that data using masking, using rules that the privileged users should not be able to run specific or see specific data, whether it is lying on a big data or a database or whether it is on a file server. And we can also monitor their activity. What are they doing on that specific database server or big data server, and we can also monitor the ad hoc queries which are run on a big data environment. And most importantly, this solution can scale up for your unstructured data, structured data which is lying on a database or a big data environment, and it can also help you in discovering the vulnerabilities which are there on database server or big data or even on a file server. So it can help you in discovering those vulnerabilities as well. So what is the inability of any big data environment is tracking who has got what access, lack of control on sensitive data, and the compliance, like specifically if you have to follow any compliance for any of your like SOX or PCI, then what you have to do for that following of that compliance is you have to do a manual specific activity on that data server or on big data or on a unstructured data. With this, you can run compliances across multiple platforms using a single console. So you don't have to worry about going at each place, manually running it and getting it, the reports. So it helps in increasing the efficiency. It helps in protecting distributed environment. It helps in identifying that who is the user, who is doing this activity, what controls we can put it on that user. So all that controls is just a console away. So you use this console, use it, protect every database, big data, or a file server. So Guardium is the solution which helps in all this, whether it is NoSQL platform, DB, big data, or file server. So what Guardium does, it helps in discovering, classifying the data. It helps in protecting the data, whether you talk about masking, redirection, or termination, like specifically if there is any DDL, DML command which is run by any database user, privileged user, it can stop. Like specifically there is a drop command which is run by any administrator, it can stop the administrator from running that command. So typically any rogue admin who is trying to do any misuse of any specific privilege, it can be monitored and it can be protected in a real time. Then it can also help in a vulnerability assessment. So if you want to do a vulnerability assessment on a databases, because on the databases you have to specifically follow multiple things when you go for a vulnerability assessment kind of exercise, which typically infrastructure vulnerability scanners are not able to provide. Like whether you want to run a privilege specific, which admin have got what specific privileges, you can run a privilege scan. Then what is the configuration which is being on the database server, whether it is left to a default configuration, that kind of specific reports can be generated and you can take a remediation step. Even if you have kept the password as a weak, the tool can discover that. And it supports multiple platforms, whether you talk about cloud, whether you talk about big data, whether you talk about DB, whether you talk about unstructured data which is residing on a file server. This is a widest platform support for a data protection from classification to protection. So it supports even application. So the important use case is if they are application users and you want to know which user, application user is performing a particular activity on database server, you can monitor that as well. So it supports out-of-box integration with SAP, Oracle eBase, and various other enterprise applications. And file servers like file shares like SharePoint, or even if you have made it on Unix or Windows. So I'll talk about the case study. We have a case study for each sector. But the important one is for one of our BFSI customer, we have this Guardium for 5,000 plus databases, and which also included a big data environment. So they are monitoring the privileged users, even the application users. They are protecting the privileged users from running specific DDML, DML commands, and protecting them from any dropping of the databases. There are multiple scenarios which you can, or use cases which you can do with this solution. This comes to the end of my session. So if you have any queries, please feel free. I'm also here. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Before I invite our next speaker, let me remind you that we are giving away points and we are giving away those Taj Mahals 3D printed. As of now, you are a little ahead. They are this table. You are just 1 point behind them because they got 2 points for the previous question that I asked. So also, we are not breaking for lunch right now. We will be breaking after all the presentations, which will take maybe another 45 minutes or so. One question, quick question. What is the color of the black box? Orange is the correct answer. So I got it from here, somewhere here. Where was this? This table. So I will give the points to 1, 2, 3 tables. Here Rajnish answered. Yeah, so I will not give the answer there. So 1, 2, 3 tables. So we will collate the points subsequently. We have our next speaker coming in. Business continuity and data protection. Milind Sonavne, Senior Sales Engineer, Nimble. Please get your hands together as Mr. Milind Sonavne joins us on stage. Thank you.
Good. Hello. Yeah. Good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Okay. So basically, I know that okay, I'm in between you and your lunch, so I will finish it out faster. I hope mine is the last. Oh, sorry, sorry, guys. So basically, okay. So basically, I'm from Nimble Storage. Any of you heard about Nimble Storage before? Yeah, good. Anybody else? I know we are the new company entering into the storage industry. 7 years old company. We have presence in US, so we started in US. We started in US in 2008. So 7